My Wi-Fi died. I don't know if that killed the stream completely or what, but yep. My Wi-Fi is dead. Oh, brother. I think Quixote's transformation was too strong. So strong, in fact, that it killed my connection. uh, let's see here. Did it completely restart? I hope not. Please tell me. Fuck! Oh, yeah, it restarted. Okay. How does it sound? Is this okay? I hello, yeah. Oh, god damn it. Okay, well, I guess it's gonna be a two-parters on the bot section. I cannot. A bizarre wall of pressure surrounds her. This is one luxury cig. Good flavor. I bought those luxury cigarettes with our last bonus pay. These rings are incredible. So much power even in a state that is, for all intents and purposes, complete emaciation. What? You ate her own knowing this was happen? I had many outcomes in mind. Some were quite similar to this, but this is beyond even the most extreme of my predictions. How the fuck are you so calm about this? We got to do something. You haven't even seen how hard her last hits. What would be the use of panicking now? If the outcome does not align with the predictions, the first course of action should be to analyze the given data. However, it doesn't seem like our containment measures will be the answer here. Thus the task of stopping her seems to fall straight onto all of you. Time for us to pay the price of curiosity. Oh, Hohenheim. Time to go into my shit list. Doing this to my wife. SMH my head. Bruh. Sancho. All this is danger beyond measure since in this building all abnormalities would have faced in the history are there. Oh my god. Yeah, no wonder. Okay, I think this is the same one as before, right? He's level 85, but thanks to this, he's down to level 50 because of her yearning for blood. Insane. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay, well, fuck me in the ass and call me Nancy Lou, I guess. God fucking damn it, dude. At least I have what's it called? Like a Rhodia here. She can probably clutch some or another. Mm-hmm. Oh my god. She's not stronger than normal Sancho? Yeah. She's level 50, but she's so much stronger anyways. He pulled a stronger skill first, that's why that makes sense. Well, at least I managed to use my defensive against her. Let's see here. Okay, should probably get Gregor to... Oh, a favorite, nice. This one, cognitive skill, rose speed. Okay, Gregor, I see here plus 14. See here, actually. Maybe I'll just do a power guard. Fuck it. Or maybe a fast might be good. Let's see here how well would fast fare. Decently, but not the best. Oh well. You win, you win some, you lose some. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Rocinante just chilling there. Damn, she beat up Gregor too, of course. I think Gregor got staggered. Let's see here, where's Rocinante? I'm gonna play spot there, Rocinante. Oh, for a second I thought she was gonna beat like Rodia. I was like, huh? Okay, we have 2 of these. Good. Now the damage begins. Where's Rocinante? Is Rocinante here or is that just a joke? No one staggered but bleeded to death. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, true. Rodion 3 potency 7 count. Insane. Poor Rodia. Like she's getting the worst out of all this. Oh, I'm neutral against all of these. Fuck. I am beyond fucked right now. No, that's gonna be a bad idea. I'm gonna have to risk it. Rest in peace, Rodion. May you be capable of dealing good damage before you die. Oh, he won. Interesting. Okay, she staggered. Fuck yeah. Now it's time. I could have sacrificed the 20 deep tears there, but I don't know how long this fight will last, so I'd rather just keep the damage going for as much as I can. Oh wait, she died now? Damn. Oh damn. I thought she would have lasted longer than that. Fuck. Oh, red eyes bitch, okay. Panic reawakened of Carnage. Okay, well. Let's see here. How are we in bleed? Okay, everyone lost their bleed. Huh, cool. That's a plus at least. Too bad Rodia died right before that though. Ugh. Too bad that not even with a guard I could beat her ass. Sad. I'll like prevent that. Oh. Is Virgil's gonna stop her? Okay, she killed us. Could have prevented this discrepancy, no joke. Fair. I must. I have to be the mother to all of them. The family's thirst. It's... No, my lady. You needn't be the mother of anyone here. Here. You are a sinner. Nothing more. Oh! Damn. Damn, he had to actually use his like what does he uses an ego too? Does he have like an efflorescent ego? I forgot if his ego is efflorescent. I will not place the blame on this incident on anyone, Dante. So now it is impossible to quench thirst. This reason bloodfiends make lower kindreds. The more they are in a family, the less their thirst hits. I see. Is it fluorescent? Okay. So yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Cool. I understand that no one could have expected this outcome. Given the dearth of intelligence regarding the binding tool the first kindred had gifted to the third sinner. Well then. I hadn't had that much first-hand experience with watching Virgilius fight, but this was certainly the most exhausted I've seen him after a fight. I decided to say nothing and turn the clock. He had to turn it on and off at any time, yeah. He had to actually, like, he actually struggled against Quixote, that's crazy. That's what being a first kindred is, huh? Even though she's not as strong as, like, the original Quixote, but she's almost there. After some time passed. Don Quixote, what happened? Did you lose consciousness? Or did something affect your memory? Manager Esquire, my memories were fine. But I heard something as soon as I removed my shoes. Voices, right? Once again, you have witnessed me. Yes, the voices. So many voices. Voices? The voices of my family. But the bloodfiends of La Mancha Land are all... Sinclair trailed off. Every single bloodfiend left inside La Mancha Land was killed when the amusement park collapsed. In other words, most of Don Quixote's lower kindreds were dead. That is correct. But I cannot well explain how... The only way I might explain this is that it was as though my very blood remembered them still. I recognized some of them, and some were voices of those I once deeply cared for. It seems that I was, against my own desire, made to ascend to my father's seat. Perhaps I always was, ever since then. And I was struck not only by my own thirst, but the combined thirst of every single one of the children. Thirst. Indeed, I am also bound by that thirst. It is only natural, because I am a bloodfiend. Thus the pressure of it all broke my hold on sanity, and I heard you all. As Don Quixote the Bloodfiend, a higher kindred. Not as Don Quixote, a sinner and your friend. Don Quixote, this isn't your fault. It's... No, such words are now meaningless. She looked down at her pair of shoes, their strings again neatly tied. The higher office will now be regularly supplying you with artificial blood packs. Good old Rocinante being the unspoken chat that gives her reason check so true. Rocinante is literally me, what the hell? Hohenheim approached us after spending a while vigorously scribbling something in his notes. The blood substitute will be very similar to real blood in terms of composition, and we won't have any issues with supply. I don't suppose you actually believe that mere willpower would be enough to withstand this surge? I have done quite well suppressing it thus far. Indeed. And that was precisely the weak attached to the ticking time bomb within the LCB. Must I remind you that the soundness of this limiter of yours is quite tenuous, as today's events have demonstrated? Is it your implication that the purpose of conducting this reckless experiment was to determine the full extent of the latent danger? I don't know. It seemed like he was in on it only to sate his curiosity. Call it merely the auspice of opportune convenience. This risk factor had to be measured sooner or later. Had I known the full extent of the danger she posed, I would have immediately requested a forceful summoning of your department. Of course, as large as this void of unknown was, we were able to fill it with much new information. Certain analyses can be drawn by comparing the reports regarding blood fiends. Let us discuss the tears you experienced first, for example. The combined desires of every lower kindred. Indeed, it is true, the Manchegan kindreds have been completely eradicated due to the events at La Mancha land. But you still heard the voices of your children, yes? What are you trying to say? I am to discuss the powerful binding force contained within blood. LCD's cooperative reports explains that the blood is not merely a carrier of nutrients, but something more, that it contains their abstract values as well. We sent in a complaint that the report was far too vague in its warning, and we received a reply their on-site investigative reasoning team leaders spat out, the contents of which were equally fascinating. This desire of the kind, this thirst, is something that may as well be imbued and imprinted on the familial bloodline. Normally, the weight of that thirst is far too heavy for any individual to bear, which is why they propagate, to bear the unbearable burden together. But considering that all of that desire is now focused onto an individual on account of the extinction of her entire family line, it is easier to see why her hold to sanity was so easily broken, no matter the strength of her will. She alone was made to bear the responsibility, the pressure, the duty of having to raise the family once again. And because none of those needs are currently met, there comes the endlessly exacerbating thirst. Thirst and more thirst. It is quite fascinating to see how your kind preserves these very abstract values in their physical form of blood. The mere word thirst does quite the insufficient job of describing the intensity with which you have lost control. This was my oversight, I must admit. I do respect your efforts to be liberated from your nature, I truly do. But I also maintain that it is highly advisable for you to regularly consume the provided blood packs. Understood. But one day I wish to dismount from Rocinante and walk bare of feet and feel the earth under my own skin. I was able to establish one positive fact from this exercise, however. What might that be? That there are those who would, quite literally, throw their lives on the line to stop you even if you were to take off your shoes. In other words, I don't believe it to be necessary for other departments to exercise any separate control over you. Well, now that I've had first-hand account of your conditions, I will write the following report. In the report. Still quite unstable, yet with the efforts from the subject herself, and efforts from various other environmental factors, this subject has been deemed sufficiently controllable. Once again, I do respect your efforts, or any kind of effort really. because I've never had much use for it myself. Don Quixote took a deep breath, then turned to face the sinners. By then, her eyes had regained their usual softer look. But sorrow was seeping through the tone of her voice. Despite her theatrical manner of speech returning, her tone reminded me of her time at La Mancha Land. My deepest apologies, dear friends. Forsooth, I shall ever persevere to see that Rocinante. My shoes are never to be removed again. Lass, you're looking at it all wrong. You're going to remove the shoes one day, yeah? And that's what you're going to persevere towards. Verily. I think she let out a brief, quiet laughter. Aw. Ah, Manager Esquire. Perchance, is there aught that thou concealest from my knowledge? What do you mean? I don't think so. It's no coincidence that, at this very moment, I notice Foss looking in my direction. Her daddy said that their sickness will try and drag her down, but he believes she can overcome it one day. True. I don't know if I made the right choice here, but Foss nodded lightly, as though to say that I did. I stopped hesitating, and the tick-tocking noises came to a stop. Very well then. However, I cannot help but admit that I felt some degree of anxiety as I watched Don Quixote walk away as though nothing had happened. Maybe she didn't hear the voice of Quixote, and she got like curious about why. Tonkemoji. Game theory. Don Quixote was revived by artificial means but doesn't count as the first kindred anymore. Alrighty, 3 more. The hierarchy. Let's say here. Well, now that that's over and done with, I would like the sinners to come gather around here. Hohenheim placed the sinners in a single file before him and began. Now the roller checkup is complete. We finally have enough data to compare your pre-employment statuses to those of your current selves. One of the most funny parts was the strongest before the contract with Dante. Oh, that's amazing. No, wait, who was the strongest? Are they gonna reveal it and is it not gonna be Quixote? Which means, indeed, we were able to measure your pre-employment combat capabilities as well. Oh, and what are your conclusions? Allow me to preface this by saying, just watch this, amazing. Allow me to preface this by saying that there isn't much significance in establishing this particular hierarchy of power on a linear scale. Like I said, you are all equally mediocre at the present anyways, and... oh, there's plenty of significance, alright? We've all gotta know who's the big boss. Well, this is but a speculation on the working scenario. We must know which one of us has the most right and authority to lead the rest of the sinners in case of executive manager becomes, due to some unknown yet inexorable circumstance, unavailable. Hey, that's... I don't listen to anyone weaker than I am. Huh? What if there was a reason I was the first one asked to introduce myself? Gregor thinking he was the strongest. Oh, Gregor. There was a burgeoning interest among the sinners to see which one of them would be at the apex of this scale. Were they to be measured by their strengths prior to their employment? Hey, maybe before I lost my memories, even I... Dante, don't. It is interesting how every collective has the desire to get the clear pictures of the pecking order. A negative expression of this desire may even lead to juvenile behaviors among children. For example, stealing their college's lunches for meager reasons such as scoring higher than they did on a test. You're not speaking from personal experience, are ya? Thus, I believe that trying to conceal the outcome of the test from you would be quite meaningless. Each of your placements is in that line you are standing in signifies that very order you were so curious to know. I do not wish to waste any more breath on this subject. There was a long silence. Then the sinners all simultaneously turned to look at the person standing in the frontmost position of the line. Yesang! What the fuck? This has to be the longest, most awkward, most loaded silence I've ever felt in my life. Much that I wish to hold shrouded in my fathoms. Yet I yearn still to convey that we are all more than meets the eye. No fucking way Jisang was the strongest. Stronger than Kindred Quixote? No way! Yet there remains a certain abundance within my heart. Perhaps the test of these days paint a picture of both my qualities. Thus spoke I, Jisang. Jisang, I will place trust in the fate that all of you shall one day sprout wings as I have. Jisang, it's the other way. Oh, okay. Ah, yes. The line was made from my point of view. From here, the sinner wielding that oversized lance is the... Okay, that makes sense. That would be so fucking funny if Jisang was just the strongest somehow. Wait, so Jisang is weaker than... weaker than, like, fucking, What for Sinclair? Yeah. So why did they put Jisang? Why did they say that, like, Sinclair was the weakest? Well, you said some cool words, though. We got this, right? Jisang? Well, there's quite the bashful occasions. To be the center of such fervent attention in one such company. I wouldn't say fervent is the right word. Worried, maybe? I shall be vigilant. No one seemed to have any objections or doubts about who the strongest in us was, given the earliest events. Yeah, I was like surprised. Like, I was like, shrouded in mystery, like he was secretly really OP before or something, like what? On second thought, it appears that it would be best if we left the command to Ishmael as we have done so far. How this mumble through gritted teeth. Okay, so is this like how strong they are right now, or how strong they were before? Because I thought they were talking about like how they were, how strong they were before. How this mumble through gritted teeth. Forsooth, they were before. Okay. Sinclair is from the. Isn't it like the same name, like the Emil Sinclair, like the. I forgot the name, but it's something like the. Fuck. Okay, someone will probably reply before I find it, but let's see here. Okay, Demian, the story of Emil Sinclair's youth. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So you got it first, Segar. Forsooth, I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement. I'm more partial to Rosa's defending fixture Squire. This is not the case. The such side characters enjoyed greater popularity since time immemorial. Very happy to see this discussion not coming to blows. Now are we ready to move on from this? Wait a minute. Aren't we all forgetting something pretty important? That's just how the world works, Greg. No one remembers anyone between the first place and the last place. I even forgot my own placement in the order. Sinclair in the book is very get through. No, I mean, fellas, I wasn't even a part of the list. Oh, were you not? Who cares, mate? There's 12 of us. Some people just follow the radar. Big deal. Let's just get on with it. Hey, you can just regard me like throwing away a fly. I guess somewhere around my level probably. Or Heathcliff's. Ishmael replied in a voice that had clearly lost all interest in the discussion. Oh my god. Ah, you're destined with that bizarre insectoid arm. We had no choice but to place you in the least favorite category of all researchers. Exceptions. Hell yeah. Ugh. They really hate that, huh? In other words, you are a unique case that cannot be well placed in a list or a scale. To do so will be irresponsible. I'd say you carry a certain potential. That, potential, is it? Sinclair meets Damian's mom and he immediately feels attracted to her because she looks like Damian insane. That, potential, is it? Does that mean that I could also be first place if all goes well? It could very well be reversed given the definition of potential. Let's not this query harrow your mind, Gregor. Your day will come. Feels funny getting consoled by the guy who plays last. Gregor always a fucking... Gregor is the actual potential man now that I think about it. Just in the story. Like in the story he's just potential man. He's like the most pathetic fucking loser. Always getting underestimated. Okay, so they were already ordering the list of like. So let me just like do that real quick just so I can see. Where is potential man? Yeah, true. So he's actually potential man. Oh, potential. It's like let's see here. Potential man is and potential woman are like terms of like characters that are like, oh yeah, we're like this character like will do this, and they have like, let's see here. Okay, so okay, so I think I skipped it to her. Don't Audis, Ryoshu, Salt. Audis is actually the second strongest, insane. Ryoshu, Salt, Foss, Honglu, Rodion, Heathcliff, Ishmael, Sinclair, and Yiseng. And then, okay, yeah, makes sense. But it's like a character that is always said like how much potential and how strong they could be or how strong they are. But like they never show it. They never show it, right? Like it's always like, oh yeah, they will. They're like the clearest example of tail don't show, you know. Yeah, potential. Yeah, because they have this so much potential, but then like they never show it, right? It's like I don't know, you know Jujutsu Kaisen, but for example, Megumin from Jujutsu Kaisen is like that serious potential mal because they were always like, oh yeah, Megumin, like if he manages to dominate the 10 shadows, he could become stronger than Gojo, and like he has the potential to become the strongest sorcerers of all time, and then Megumin just did fuck nothing throughout the entire fucking story. All he did was like get possessed by Sukuna and then get rescued by Yuji, and he did fuck nothing besides that. Like he genuinely was like the greatest example of modern potential man. After some time passed. Next, we must discuss the classification numbers. We have been assigning risk levels for distortions just as we have for anomalies. The observation laws you have written for us were a great fail, of course. My researchers struggled to parse the handwriting of certain seniors, however, but it was good data all the same. We once had a 3-hour debate over a letter. Even a bloody governess gave up on trying to fix my handwriting. Don't get me started on the ending of Jujutsu, me imputó con solo acordarme. It was certainly an ending. It was interesting ending for sure. He threw green proudly and wiped to the side of his nose. It's crazy that now Jujutsu Kaisen has a sequel and they're fighting aliens that are very similar to cursed spirits. It's crazy. What the fuck? I gotta read it at some point. As you must all be well aware, the current system of classification numbers has a rather significant oversight. Because abnormalities were creations of the former L Corp, our classification system had to be lifted whole from their system. However, the criteria by which the former L Corp measured the risk level was the amount of their energy production. As a correlation of sorts, it was often the case that the more aggressive abnormalities produced more energy, but their destructive capabilities were not a part of the criteria despite the correlation. That is why certain abnormalities were assigned relatively lower risk level despite their potential to kill even multiple higher ranking employees. This is both part of the writing here, but also important hints. Gregory is basically a depressed old man, but he has much more, not to mention how his literal crazy mother called him his masterpiece. Yeah, exactly, like genuine potential, man. It's insane. And he's always like so pathetic. I hope he just actually shows how strong he can be later on. That is why certain abnormality. Oh wait, yeah. They were an energy company at the end of the day. It makes sense that their priority would be to measure the energy output. If only he put a backbone reel, basically, yeah. I mean, he did in the war, but he's like probably just like a tired old man at this point. However, here both abnormalities and distortions must be suppressed via direct confrontation. Into a cockroach so bad brain. Oh, I hope not. I hope he turns into a beetle. Because I would hate if he turned into a cockroach, because it's my favorite where I hate cockroaches. However, here both abnormalities and distortion must be suppressed via direct confrontation. Thus, the former L Corp's classification system is rather incongruent with our purposes. No! I once heard someone say that we should be wary of people who drone on and on in the intro. Thus, it became necessary for us to reorganize the distortion's risk levels and classification codes. Wow, how interesting. So whose job is it that going to be? I am rather taken aback by the naivete with which you asked me that question. Gregorio Samsa Cucaracha mi amado. True. Us. It's us. Sinners without the right to refuse, was it? Wait a sec. Aren't you just offloading your own work onto us? A privilege given to researchers. Oi, oi! Don't be so ignorant, yeah? This is all just to, in order to reach the distortion, right? We gotta... The other way around, assistant. Ah! We got to reach into distortion in order to solve them better. It's elementary, shite. Hohenheim's really got your wrap around his finger, you know that? According to the LCD on-site investigative reasoning team leader, the progression of a distortion is much like that of a disease. The fight of... How do I know it? Because his sidekick who follows him on all the universes, Pablo the Cockroach, through... Yeah, he always has a cockroach with him, so I guess that makes sense, but like... The fate of an abnormality awaits at the end of the distortion phenomenon, after all. When a distortion progresses into an abnormality, all pre-existing individuality is erased, replaced with the totality of an abnormality. Thus, it is impossible to bring back a distortion that has already transformed into an abnormality, if we no longer have that reversibility that they once had in the distortion phase. So, a distortion like that Time Reaper fella will eventually become an abnormality too if left untouched? It is a good name, yeah. I think it's because, like, aren't there like memes of a cockroach named Pablo just by default? Or am I just tripping? If you are referring to the subject HE6PI2001, then yes. This is simply a prediction, of course. Wait, which one? Oh, wait, yeah, like a Time Reaper, yeah. Because that particular subject isn't contained here, I cannot say with absolute certainty that its progression into an abnormality will be observed. And it's basically now the name is... Yeah, it's all of the IDs, that's true. Oh yeah, never mind, it was Carlos, the ending Carlos. Yeah, true. A correct assessment. Uh-huh. Didn't Limbus company collect the Time Reaper? We hope we would, but T-Corp was very adamant about their claim over the entity, to the point where they refused to even sit at the negotiation table. And I found their time-reaping ability quite fascinating, but... sometime I must know when to cut my losses, I suppose. Wait, so that something is the new classification code format? Indeed. Because it is difficult to identify and observe their origin and the shape of a distortion, we decided to forgo that information and instead replace them with their scene affinities and the expected damage scale. Oh, okay. So... let's see here. No, wait, it's way higher up. Oh, wait, I think yeah, I didn't... well, whatever. That's a fun game whenever there is a new Gregor, find the Pablo through... Oh, the classification name of, like, the Time Reaper. Scene affinities. Pi must refer to Pigrita, sloth. It appears that the classification now mimics the classification of the Pecatula. They do indeed follow the same thought process, if we're being technical here. I wouldn't say it mimics it. It would be more accurate to say as the Pecatula wants the origins of the distortion phenomena and its byproducts, the affinities can be transferred one-to-one. What's the expected damage scale? Combat capability, I'm guessing. I remember the saying that the risk level were determined based on the encapsulating production rates, which is not the most meaningful information to us who have to hide them directly. It was a tad inconvenient to put a nebulous idea like combat capabilities into a singular numerical scale power. Certain entities have idiosyncrasies and variables that make them such a linear measures quite meaningless. So instead, we decided to measure the expected amount of damage the Limbus company personnel might suffer should they engage these entities in battle. While this Time Reaper poses very little threat against the sinners due to your idiosyncrasies, The unique nature of their weapons means they can immediately deal a fatal blow to anyone from the LCC department with a single strike. That is why this distortion was given a rather high expected damage scale of 6 from a scale of 1 to 10. Please do note that this is not a perfect system and these values are there only as reference. Will this standard be applied to abnormalities as well? We have plans to do so, yes. Reach levels and expected damage scale will be coming before their classification goes. Also time to stretch. Thank you, Ayo. Hello there, how you doing today? It's time to stretch. There we go. Damn. I cannot believe the... Oh no, wait, yeah, no. The people, the bots I banned, they're already dead accounts. Which I was like, I cannot believe they're dead accounts already, but yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Alrighty. Speaking of which, I have something to show you all. Secor says, also since Hockenheim has already explained a lot, after this intervallo all abnormalities, even in Mirror Dungeon, we have the reach level and now the strength number. That's so fucking cool. That's amazing. I love that. That is so cool. Also, Ayo, hi. Did you know that I got the... Like, I'm gonna order the... what's it called? The Don Quixote plush from Plush Parade. I got it funded on Throne, so I'm gonna get it. Hell yeah. I'm getting it. Yeah. Speaking of which, I have something to show you all. Yeah, I'm gonna order it soon. Just need to wait for the money to arrive. What is it? What else other than the monolith? One with the highest potential values among Limbus companies' businesses. Thus, the development of transportation, management, and processing methodologies of the monolith is a glowing achievement indeed. It was a good idea to have the thing drawn. Yeah, no, it was definitely a good idea. That's pretty cool. Very happy, very happy. Does Strong hold the money? It holds it for like 5 days or something, and then like 3 to 5 days, I think. And then it takes another 3 to 5 days to arrive. So it takes like a week and a half to arrive usually. Because Tron sends it to like Stripe, and then Stripe sends it directly to my bank account, so it does take a little bit. Expedited? I don't know you can expedite that shit, what the hell? It takes 1 day in Tron, what? Oh, but like, that's just random, isn't it? Or can you like... And then try to treat it interesting. Huh, really? How do you do the expedition thing then? Do you need to like, give them extra or something? A great danger, but wouldn't you say that we are best beset by danger at all times? The arbitrariness is deciding how dangerous something is comes from the degree to which it poses a risk. As you must already know, the monolith here is a device that can force the distortion. It is carried throughout the city just like the Golden Vow. At first only in possession of the Fingers and the Syndicate of the Backstreets, to now being collected by companies both large and small and nameless like a plague. Oh, it's extra cost, okay. The buyer has the option to pay for it to be sped up. Oh, okay, okay. So the buyer can... Okay, that makes sense. We also learned that they have become rather high priority targets from some wings in there. Yes, what's up, Ayo? As luck would have it, we managed to begin our research, expedition and collection of the monoliths much earlier than the others. Now we are already at the stage in which we may partake in the processing and the sales of this artifact, expanding our business venture. You could say that we narrowly avoided the very unsavory fate of having to tussle with the wings for the possession of these artifacts. Because we may have had to confront the wings directly were that the case. Asking out of pure curiosity here, what would happen if we were ever assigned a city threat level? How about we don't ask questions we don't ever want to find out the answers to? You don't build the hill, have to add $3? Oh. No, industry, which is pretty stupid. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. I mean, what if we do some contractual shenanigans instead of going against the associations? I think it'd be a good thing to know ahead of time just in case. Seems like a question worth entertaining to me. Let's see. From Corner to Star of the City. I suppose your assignment will be somewhere between Urban Plague and Urban Nightmare. Not SOTC yet, are we? Stars of the City, I'm guessing? It almost sounds as if you want to be given a threat level. Oh, so we're like Urban Plague and Urban Nightmare level. So we're a little stronger than we were before. We're so far away from Star of the Sea, yep. But like, if I get like less than $30 and then someone else give me something else that puts it above $30, wouldn't that make it like pass the threshold? Because I do remember, like, if I have less than the threshold, I never redeem until I have more than that threshold, because otherwise it charges me, like, for it. Let's see here. But it didn't say anything about, like, getting me less. Huh. It's free. Okay, so yeah, it just stacks, so that's good. Yeah, for example, right now I have $40 right now, but I have 18 before that. Yeah, let's see here. Turn balance. Let's see here. Yeah, $2 fee applies to withdrawals for less than 30. Okay, so it's fine. Yeah, so if you withdraw less than $30, you get a $2 fee. But if you get, like, for example, like someone gives you $25 and the other one gives you like 10, that's more than 30, so it doesn't apply. So you just gotta save. You just gotta save the balance money you have until you're above $30 in that case, so it doesn't charge anything. That's what I always do. Yeah. That's what I always do, because otherwise I'm not gonna pay $2. It is true that you, upon first sight, due to your revival powers and the potential of the identity technology, may appear to pose a rather troublesome risk. However, you have a very clear and obvious weakness. Indeed, all of our adventures will be moot upon the manager's death. Yeah, fuck the $2. We hate the $2 here. Hohenheim slowly turns around to look at me, prompting Faust and the other seniors to follow suit. What if we protected them, though? I am impressed by your optimism, given the kinds of enemies you have faced thus far. We don't even need to go so far back in time to discuss the incident with the Fixer Siegfried, or Big Brother Ricardo I read from your reports. Not Ricardo! Ricardo. Should the third sinner suddenly seek to attack the manager with her full might, do you truly believe that the rest of you would be enough to protect them? Alright, Ayo, thanks for coming in. Goodbye. Have a good day, okay? No. The flow of this world is that the manager will be preserved, that no such thing may come to pass. You need to document. Ooh. An official document, I'm guessing? Good luck with that. Come back later. No, I probably won't be, but I hope to see you in another stream. Bye-bye. That's enough, Hohenheim. Ooh, your first certificate. Okay. Nice. You're renewing it, I'm guessing? Oh, that means I probably need to renew my ID in, like, next year, I think. That's enough, Hohenheim. Any further revulsions and Foss will open a disciplinary committee to discuss the consequences of your careless words. Yeah. Not there yet, are we? Very well, whichever is the case, you do have the potential to become a star of the city threat at some time in the future. But do remember that it would be best if you could avoid that unfortunate designation. You'll try all your confidence for me. Why? What, did they fuck something up? If you can talk about it, of course. And please don't forget that this is only true as long as you have Lingo's company's backing. Oh, Hohenheim, you little bitch. It's hard to sign up before. For like PayPal. Oh. Oh. Because of the ID thing. Huh. I don't know what ID thing. So press it on. Ooh, last one. Okay. I don't know what editing is, sadly, but well, hopefully it will be good. Okay, let's get 20 stale. Good luck. Yeah, have 20 stale, so I can go to sleep. Okay, there we go. It's time. We're almost done with the regular checkup. Finally, we have a chance for you to overcome an adversity based on what you have learned thus far. And for me to prove my hypothesis. What hypothesis is he talking about? No need to worry, my hypotheses have never been wrong. Wait, most of the time. Wait a second. Wait a second. I just want to make sure. Is this a mirror dungeon? Because it is okay, I am not gonna be able to Hero said don't worry about it. Yeah, sorry, I think I'm gonna have to just get through the dialogue and then end, because I need to leave in like 10 minutes. Okay, so yep, it is a mirror dungeon, and thus I am not finishing today, but I'll finish it next time. It only cost on Kefali mode. Okay, I didn't see that. Oh well. This late? What do you mean? What do you mean this late? What? Okay. Okay, so yeah. I need to leave. No, like not leave my house, just like to end stream. I need to leave like the computer pretty much. Like I need to go somewhere else, but not like outside. Just I need to stop streaming, which is what I mean. I need to do something else. That's the word. Sorry, I was struggling to like. But yeah, this experiment is entirely of my own design and supervision, and I will faithfully follow my own prior curiosities and instinct as a researcher. Guys, I have a feeling we're not gonna like where this is going. Now, do you see this monolith here? Yep, I do. That's a monolith, alright, but... don't worry. My researchers will be the ones to activate the artifact. Activate the artifact? Not on you. Relax. I understand that none of you would be willing participants to this experiment. I swear, you're going to force us to start saying that we have no right to refuse or something. I'm gonna... Yeah, hang on. I can let you do that even as your assistant. Yes, but if you must, we're willing to send the Whisker senior among us for... Oh, forget I said that. That was foolish of me to say. I will be the subject of the experiment myself. You're going to distort yourself? Am I hearing you right? Aren't you curious to see what kind of distortion you'd end up becoming? I'm sure this is a question you have all entertained at least once. No, I ain't curious. I ain't a very pleasant experience either. Oh, well, you're already distorted. You are already distorted, and Mersal probably did too. Stop gritting your teeth like that, assistant. It will have an adverse effect on your long-term dental health. To be honest, he'll be the only one who ever receives distortion, at least from the natural way. Fair. Well, I mean, we have to pull him out of the distortion, but yeah. What if you just end up turning into a Pikachu? You could end up becoming a Pikachu, just another one of the fodder we slaughtered our way through the test earlier. You're risking that? It is indeed a possibility. It will signify nothing more than my very own limitations. Damn. This guy's fucking insane. Also, how do I see how long? Let's see here. Tank emoji. Tonk emoji. Where do I see it? How long is... Oh well, I'll just check here. Just a mediocre shell. If such an incident comes to pass, these employees will transform me to a containment unit. We even made a bet on what kind of Pikachu I would turn into. He bet on Cool A, I on Nvidia, and her on Pigricia. But how could you? Think about it like this. If I were to become a Pikachu, it would be akin to losing at a game of chance. Of course, what counts as a loss may depend on what I, at that precise time, consider to be losing. Oh. But the mere fact of turning into a Pikachu robs me of any value in life. Pikachu are so abundant because many people fail to start makes sense. That's so sad though. I'd say he was being too hard on himself, but that felt like too simple as an expression to describe his tone. The company would most likely attempt to transform me to a containment unit, but I disagree with that decision. I would like to ask you to dispose of me on the spot. I am well aware that I am not the kind of congenial person who earns others' favors at first meeting, if at all. I also don't believe that our brief relationship has been the most amicable kind. Therefore, I see little reason why you would hesitate to cut me down. Of course, seniors with gentle hearts like this young Sinclair here may express certain distaste against my decision. But once I become a Pikachu, it may as well mean that Hohenheim, the entity, has ceased to be. So I hope no unnecessary emotions like guilt clouds your judgment in killing the Pikachu, a mere byproduct. But what if something unexpected happens? We're thinking about your life here. Don't you have any manuals with backup plans or... This is a very simple matter. Nothing more than a coin flip, heads or tails. It appears that you are still insisting on the absurd 50-50 theory. I am a researcher who wishes to humiliate the field of mathematical statistics. Unlike the general lay of the academia, I believe there is a certain romanticism to research. It is much more exciting to run as many tests and gain as many samples as we can to be stuck behind it than to be stuck behind a desk, poring day and night over books and paper, isn't it? If it fails, then you may dispose of me immediately, and the employees here will take care of the rest. Don't forget to destroy the key inside that coat pocket and the files inside my cabinet, for example. Yes, we remember. If I were to successfully distort, we would be halfway to success. For the first time, I am feeling quite the envy for you all. I wish I could be a witness to my very own distortion. Yeah, literal stream search history is so funny. Huh. If you've been paying attention to my lectures, perhaps you could even come up with a classification code for my distortion too. Going by the standards we have discussed earlier. Not that I have very high expectation that you would. I recently come to a realization that people nodding along to my words is not a signifier of comprehension, but instead an expression of social niceties. Nuts. Then the miner here will open the entrance to my dungeon of the Phantoms, and you will progress to the Mirror Dungeon, as you have always done when facing a distortion, to reach into its deepest phantoms to face my distortion once again. I wish you the best of luck in your suppression efforts. Hexa section. Oh. And once you've made it that far, it's likely that you will find me unconscious. Or if love would have it, conscious. Unconscious? Are you sure this is safe? A degree of case-by-case variance is to be expected. It may take some time for a full recovery, but it will happen should you succeed. That reminds me, that's how this bamboo-headed Kim was brought back as well. Bamboo-headed Kim, he's recovered? He's likely contained within our facilities. It seems that they are ready to activate the monolith. I am confident that I, even as a distortion, will be quite the exceptional specimen. Hang on, just like that? You're not a Pikachu, Indeed. And I can still hear them. Yes. I remember, I still do. I know he'll be back, but gosh, this is pretty unnerving. Don't worry, we'll bring him back, no matter what. The manager says that we will bring him back no matter what. Sure sounds like Sure sounds like a dependable sort, this manager of yours. Very well, please take a look at this. Is this a note? Did he write us tips on how to do this or something? He says that all you have to do is read what's on that note in front of his distortion. Apparently, it's some kind of a code. I don't think he'll hear anything but ticking noises from me. Can you read this, Mersault? It will be done as you commanded. Mersault nodded, then began to read the words from the note aloud. Lobotomy Corporation, 5 minutes. Potentiality, anticipation, right hand. The moment Mersault ordered them, yeah, true, sleeper agent. The all too familiar portal began to appear around Hohenheim's distortion, as though they were a key to a door. Scattering shards of familiar, yet alien sights appear intermittently beyond the shimmering veil. Later on his trauma, hell yeah, Hohenheim trauma, woo! Hohenheim had already entered the portal as we stood there gawking, but we could still hear his voice echoing through the laboratory. I suppose I'll be forced to share my past here, the past I never wanted to share, the past no one cares to learn about. It is something I must endure for the sake of this experiment, however. I needn't expose every little detail of it. It's all in the past now anyway, isn't it? Woo! And we'll revive his trauma next week! Because now it's time to end the stream. Thank you very much everybody for watching. We're gonna leave it for today. And now let's save this progress real quick. Memories of the OST lobotomy, hell yeah. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Let's see here. Okay, let's just did I do the one wall thing in Honglu? Yes, I did. Okay, well, let's do like a 10-volt Honglu just for fun, you know. Yeah, you can redeem some clicks. Oh, I didn't get anything decent. Sad. Okay, let's do another just because I'm sad. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Let's see what we got. Oh, we got gripping fast. That's pretty hot. Okay. That was our 10 pull of the day. Yay! Or 20 pull, I guess. I hope you all enjoyed. Dun 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 dun. Let's see here. Good girl, Jelly. 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 Thank you very much for the redeems. There we go. Let's see here. There we go. Let's get on with it now, shall we? Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for staying all the way to the end, and I'll see you next time. Hohenheim shouldn't be hard. Let's see what happens next time. But I'm more interested in the interval of the. Ooh, what's the interval of this one? Can't believe there's 2 intervalos. Alrighty. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Nocturnal sweeping, interesting. Donk emoji. Let's see what this nocturnal sweeping has to offer. Alright, and now close the game, play the thingy, and... Alrighty everybody, have a wonderful night. Goodbye.